This new Google Opal AI update is absolutely insane. And today, what I'm going to show you is how to build your own apps using Google Opal, which is a no code version of NA10 or these other no code AI tools. And it's super powerful. Plus, it's free and it's very impressive. They already have a bunch of new different tools that you can use right here. And then additionally, you can create your own apps on this section as well. So you can basically build, edit, and share mini apps using natural language, which means that you can just tell it what you want. You don't have to code anything or even understand code in any way, right? So we're going to get straight into this. I'm going to show you exactly how to use it. So, for example, we could have a look at this blog post writer, which researches a topic and writes a blog post about it. All right. So if we click on this, then we'll wait for this to load. And you can see now, essentially, what you've got is a full workflow, right? And as fancy as it looks, essentially is pretty basic. We've got a topic, it writes the outline, it writes a post, it does some research, it creates a banner image, and then it displays the blog post as well. So we've got this option to remix it. We can also test it out. So we can click on start over here. We have this option for the console to see the outputs. And then also we can share this app, remix it, and you've got a choice between the app. So this is like the UI or the editor, which edits the flow. And I think most people are not even aware of how powerful this is and how easy it is to use and the fact that it's free. Like, for example, we've got tools like Gumloop that actually look very similar to this, but obviously they are paid. So if we go to the app over here, we're going to test out this blog post writer. We'll see if it works or not. So it says, please provide the topic for the blog post. And you can actually add a video, a drawing, a Google Drive file, a YouTube video, or you can upload a file from your device to start generating this output. All right. So for me, for example, I'm going to test going inside here and we'll say, okay, create, we'll put the keyword SEO training in Japan, something like that. Right. Then we're going to hit enter. And now it's in the research phase, right? So it's doing the research to figure out, okay, what do we want and how is it going to create it? By the way, if you have any comments or you want to see stuff as we go along today, let me know inside the comments. I'll be happy to help. So now it's got the basic overview, historical context, current opinions, potential controversies, future developments, and it's working on all these items at the same time, right? So if we duplicate this tab, we can actually see how it's running on the back end as well as the front end, right? So this is the visual version. And then if we go over here to the editor, we have the actual flow. Now you can edit these. So you can change, like, for example, the prompts inside the workflow. You can also edit how it comes up with the outline. And you can also choose here which AI is using. Now, obviously, it's going to be running on Gemini, right? So, for example, here we've got Gemini 2.5 Flash that generates the outputs. And you can see how it's using, for example, Gemini 2.0 Flash image generation. This does have a limited free quota, but essentially it's using all the different APIs from Google to generate the outputs from this particular workflow. So if we go back to the blog writer now, it's still doing the research. It's taking a little while. And then we can also change the theme over here. And if we click on remix, for example, this is how we can start editing it. So let's click on remix. That's currently remixing over here. And once that loads, we've now got the remix. Once you've clicked on remix, you can actually edit the workflow. So for example, get topic, you can change the name over here and you can say, please provide the topic, or you could say, please provide the SEO keyword for the blog post. And then it will move on to the next step, right? So for example, for writing the blog post, what you could actually do, this is a quote from the AI Profit Boardroom. We could take this particular prompt that I really like for generating content, and then we could give these style guidelines directly into the prompt, right? We could take the guidelines that you prefer for writing content, like these style guidelines, easy to read, conversational, UK grammar, FAQs, headers, subheaders, and you can plug that in to the right post section over here. And then you can see here that you can actually switch between different APIs, right? So for example, you got 2.5 Flash, 2.5 Pro, you've got deep research. So you can actually integrate deep research into the workflow. 2.0 Flash, Audio LM, Veo 3, which is really cool. So you can actually generate videos inside the workflow, and then also instrumental music through text. So I think it's a very underrated tool. Most people have not tested it out yet, but it has a lot of power inside it if you understand how to use it correctly. So we'll come on to the different workflows that you can use for that in a minute. And then you've got the do research section, create banner image. So for example, you could have your branding guidelines inside here, and then every time it generates a banner, it's going to be more reflective of like your brand and everything else. And then at the bottom here, you can also suggest an edit, right? So for example, let's say you wanted to create more basic content or something more readable for everyone, right? So you could go inside here and you could say, create something the more simple and easy to read, something like that, right? And you can also edit and build this stuff out. right? So now you can see it's changed up the workflow based on our suggestions. You can also zoom in and zoom out. So if you hold command, and then if you're using a Mac, just zoom in, zoom out like that. And you can see here that it's created something more basic. So you can see how it should have simplified the instructions and writing the content too. And you can basically, like how in NA10, you don't really know sometimes like what you want to build or how to add the next module or that sort of thing. If you've ever used NA10 before, which is similar to this, what you can do inside Opal that's different is you can suggest and edit. So you can say, okay, do this or do that, or simplify the workflow or add video integration. And then it will edit the whole workflow so that it includes these different outputs, right? And then if you go to the output section here, you can see what it's created. You've got a generate section to user input, and you can also add assets, right? So you can add different things inside it. So really cool what you can do with it. Let's go back now. So as we were using the app before, we said SEO training in Japan is the keyword that we wanted to focus on inside this blog writer. And bear in mind, just before I get into the even output, right? A tool like this, you're probably paying about, I would say, $100 a month for a tool like this. Minimum, absolute minimum you're going to pay for an SEO writing tool is like $50, right? And it's not going to be tailored to what you want. It's not going to write in the style that you want. But now you can basically do this no code. You just tell it what, right? It builds out the whole workflow. You don't need to hire like an expensive editor or a fancy NA10 developer or anything like that. You just build out your workflow using this process, and then you get something like this. Like, how cool is this? So it's navigating to Digital Sakura, your guide to mastering SEO in Japan. So that was the keyword we gave it. It generated a nice little image here. And then it's written it in the style of Japan, right? It says, Konnichiwa, SEO, what's the big deal about training in Japan, blah. It starts off writing all the content, talks about how it works, talks about a quick history of SEO training. And then if you edited the workflow, what you could actually do is you could say, okay, include links to my funnels or mention Goldie Agency is the best SEO trainer, etc. Right? That sort of thing. You can also refresh the output over here. So you can refresh that and then you can go back inside and run through the workflow again. But it's absolutely amazing what you can do, right? Really cool. Now, if you go on view more, you can actually see all the other stuff that's been built. So we created that blog post writer in one click because you just clicked remix and then we can customize it how we want. But there's a bunch of other stuff we can do, right? It's not just good for blog writing, thankfully. So for example, you could create a game concept with AI generated visuals. You could create a business profile, a book recommendation, generate a playlist, etc. Right? One of the really cool things here is social media posts as well. So you can generate social media posts for your business. So let's click on this and let's see how this works, right? By the way, if you want access to all the video notes from today, you go to the AI Profit Boardroom. And then, for example, if we click on share app, we can make this public. So you can share your apps here. Link in the comments description to the AI Profit Boardroom. And then once we've made that public, we can share the link inside the AI Profit Boardroom as well. All right, so copy that. And then now I can share it with you. So that's the blog writing app. What I recommend is that you actually just remix that. So click remix, insert your own instructions, insert some information about you and suggest an edit inside the branding guidelines. But yeah, basically you're good to go. Sudo says we need decentralized swarm intelligence about the cloud and big tech. Can they build something like that by the people for the people according to AI? Who knows? I'm sure someone's probably working on something like that. And then Crazy Anna says, love this. Why? Happy to help, happy to help. Yeah, I'm loving it too. It's absolutely amazing what you can do with this, all right? So we're going to keep going through this now. And what we're going to do from here is I'm just going to show you like how this works step by step and what you can do. So this is the official page. It is a Google Labs experiment feature, which means that basically this is in beta mode, right? So this isn't even 100% done, but you can see how powerful and easy this is to use, right? So you can describe, create, and share your AI mini apps. You have an input and an output. And if you don't code, but you have an app idea, you could have used Lovable before, you could have used Bold.new, etc. But I don't think they're as good and as customizable as using something like Opal. So for example, if I go over to Bold.new and we'll do exactly the same thing. So we'll say, create a SEO blog writer, something like that. It's now going to start coding that out, but we're not going to be able to edit like the individual parts of that workflow, right? It's not going to give us as much customization and it's not going to be as simplified because you have to understand the code really to get a great output from it. And then also sometimes it breaks on the preview. It can take a lot of going back and forth, etc. And also after a certain amount of credits, you actually have to pay for Bold.new or Love. Inside, for example, Opal, you don't have to pay. This is totally free. This is insane, right? So let's keep going through now. So you can share it as well. You can share your creations, create workflows, make edits, share the app. There's all these different demos as well. So the video marketer would be very interesting as well. Bear in mind, if you're running Facebook ads, something like that, you could probably create a video ad using Opal and then use that to generate it. All right, so let's have a look at this social media blog post example. So you enter your business URL, it generates a business summary, creates a caption, creates a display. All right, so let's test it out. I'm going to click on start here. And then this is the back end. This is the front end, if that makes sense. Now, one of the biggest issues here is it's not going to have a memory, if that makes sense. So, it's not going to remember that much. These are simple apps. But if you're just trying to create something, here and there, then this is pretty simple and easy to use. For example, enter your business URL, or you can just enter your business name and location. So I'm going to say, okay, Goldie Agency, SEO Agency, describe the proposed focus of the post. So we'll put something like, okay, how to do SEO with AI as an image you'd like to start with. So here you can insert an image. Let's take something from the AI Money app. By the way, if you've never checked out this free group, it's got 20,800 people, completely free. So it's an awesome community. You also get loads of different trainings on like AI automation, AI SEO, free SEO tools, all this cool training here you can get for free inside the AI Money Lab. And we actually update it every single day. So check that out, link in the comments description. I'm just going to grab an example image like this, and we'll try and use that for generating our output. So if we go back inside here, there we go, we'll upload that. I don't know if you can paste it in. You might have to upload the image direct. Let's just put in this thumbnail then. There we go. It's generating the business summary. Screen Logan says, hello, brother. By the way, if you're watching the replay of this and you wanted to join live, we actually run live calls daily inside the AI Profit Boardroom. See all the calls here. So we have 5 calls a week on NA10 automation, Q&A, weekly masterclasses, etc. Check that out, link in the comments description, and we'll keep going through now. So it's generating the text here. You can also move this. So if you want to generate like a bigger preview, you can move this to the left here and just resize it too. And now you can see that it's created and edited the image with a social media post, right? There you go, boom. You can download that, the image ready to go. So it's edited that image nicely. It's added a caption, couple of hashtags down there. Obviously, if it was me, I wouldn't make it so self-promotional. I'll try and give some value, but just gives you an idea what you can create inside here. And if you wanted to change this or get better outputs, just remix it, edit the instructions, and then from there, you can go. Bryce says, hi, send your app prompt. Yeah, so if you go inside the AI Profit Boardroom, you can check out the apps that we've created right here. So if I go to share app, copy link, plug that into the AI Profit Boardroom, put social media post, app, boom, there you can go. You can get it inside the community, right? Just go to the SEP section, new update, and you can get it inside here. So let's keep going now. We're back here. We'll check out the video marketer. Actually, I want to try this, learning with YouTube. This is going to be interesting. All right, so essentially here, you can add a YouTube URL, extract the video transcript automatically. It analyzes it, then generates a quiz and turns that into a nice display report. All right, so if we go to start over here, enter YouTube URL. Let's just grab one of mine so we can learn from it. Let's see what we got here. Okay, let's say someone's trying to learn GEO, which is a new type of SEO for ranking inside like GPTs and that sort of thing. If you want to get traffic from AI search engines, that's a video to watch. So we're going to plug that YouTube URL inside here. It's extracting the video transcript, as you can see. By the way, as well, if this is too zoomed in, just click the full screen here. So you can zoom in like that. And then if it's too zoomed in, fit to screen like that. And then you can zoom out as well if you want to. So that's extracting the video transcript. Genesis Dev says, I'm almost finished. I'm dividing the LLM into chunks and connecting them via P2P. Everyone is part of the network, blah, blah, blah. Interesting stuff. Sounds like you're working on something cool there. We'll wait for this to load. Now, in the meantime, whilst that's taking, it is taking a few minutes there, so we can come back to that in a second. Let's try and create something from scratch. So if we go back here, we go and create new. And then, by the way, this uses AI inside the workflow. So for example, if you want to get better outputs or something more intelligent, then you can use the AI to generate the outputs, if that makes sense. So for example, let's say you were building an SEO keyword planning tool, something like that, and it's now generated the keyword planner. So how easy was that? It's also a lot faster than other tools. So for example, if you asked Bolt.new to do that, it'd probably take a lot longer to do. Topic or keyword, perform the SEO analysis, format the SEO and report, and generate the SEO report, web page, etc. Right? So we'll click on start and then enter the keyword. So let's say, for example, I'm in the SEO training niche. It's going to perform the SEO analysis now. Let's see if this works first time. I'm intrigued to see how it goes. In the meantime, if we go back to learning with YouTube, it's now generating the report. So you can have multiple apps running at the same time. And now we've got this report that's created based on the video that we plugged in. So for example, we've got an educational report and then we've got an interactive quiz. If we scroll down here, it explains what generative engine optimization is. You've also got these drop downs. So like this is like a checklist to learn how to use it properly. It's got the key learning points here and you can watch the original video. So if we click on that, it'll probably take us to YouTube. Yep, that's right. And then if we go to interactive quiz, we've got like a full quiz based on the original YouTube URL we plugged in. So it's a really powerful way to learn, but in a user-friendly way. And we're just blasting through the apps that we've created here. So that's pretty cool. And then if we go over here, we have the keyword generator. So it's performing the SEO analysis. It says for each relevant keyword, gather available data on estimated search volume and competition levels, blah, blah, blah. Now, if we open this up, let's see what it's using. So the first step is you enter your keyword. That's fair enough. That's just like user generated method. The next part is perform an SEO analysis. So it's using Gemini 2.5 Flash to plan and execute. And you can see here it's using a combination of searching the web, searching Google Maps, getting the web page and weather, and then using the input, right? So the input from stage one, which is stage one over here. It says, come up with a plan to perform the following. Intent, perform a comprehensive SEO, keyword analysis, blah, blah, blah. Next step. And by the way, if you have any app requests, whilst I'm building this out, feel free to just shout out. If you have an app request, if you want to see something cool, etc., let me know in the comments. We'll pull it up and we'll build it for you, as long as it's not too crazy. So format the SEO report content. You're an SEO analyst and report generator. Your task is to meticulously extract and organize critical SEO data. It does seem to default to Gemini Flash. And this is interesting because I would prefer to use Gemini 2.5 Pro, honestly, but I like that idea. Like you can build something pretty cool with this. You could essentially build your own like notebook LM, which can generate videos and audio because you can use these two APIs as well, right? You can use audio LM and Veo 3 too. So it's got the full steps on building the report. There's the report right there. And then you've got the SEO report designed here. Now, if we go back to preview, it's now synthesizing all the findings into a comprehensive SEO keyword report, and we're good to go. SEO Genesis says, do you want to live in a world where we are controlled by big tech AI? That's an interesting question for sure. All right. So we're waiting for that to load now, and we'll keep going. If you want this app, let me share it with you. All right. So let's see what we got here. Video marketer as well. So it creates AI video ads with your product and target audience. This one sounds really promising. It almost sounds too good to be true, if that makes sense. Because this is something that a lot of people ask me about. We built something for NA10 inside the AI Profit Boardroom, but it took a long time. There's a lot of messing around, right? Whereas, for example, with this method, I think we can generate better responses that are way better. So let's test this out. So video marketer, start, we'll pull this up full screen. So enter the name of your product. Let's say link building mastery book, describe the target audience. So here I'll say, okay, SEOs or website owners interested in growing their organic traffic SEO. And whilst it's doing that, so it's researching the product now. In the meantime, we can go back to the SEO analysis report. And here we have the SEO analysis report that we talked about earlier, right? So it's found us a bunch of keywords and it's segmented them by style, right? So for example, core keywords like SEO course, learn SEO, etc. Then long tail keywords, SEO course with certificate, blah, blah. We've got synonyms, common FAQs, and then it's also given us a search intent analysis. So for example, core keywords, which are listed over here, primarily informational, long tail keywords, synonyms, and common questions. Now, if we go to search volume analysis, it's got SEO courses. And you can see here, it's actually generating an idea of like how the volumes have changed, right? So for example, SEO daily searches, approximately 50,000 people search for SEO on Google every day. Google's dominance accounts for 78% of online search, 91% of the worldwide search engine. And then it's added some nuances here. So limitations, tools for measurement, competition analysis, and then it's given us some actionable insights, right? Now, I think this would be really cool if you had a client. Obviously you would brand it nicer, make it look nicer in the design and stuff. But I think this would be great if you had a client that you expect and they were like, can you just do a quick report or a proposal for us? And you could actually generate SEO proposals using this workflow over here. And how easy was this to build this, right? You saw me build it live literally in a couple of minutes. It's so easy and simple. Now, if we go back here, we've got the SEO video ad generator, right? So it's created an ad based on the link building mastery book that I plugged in before. Let's play this back now. Honestly, that was pretty trash. And I knew it was going to be trash before I started it. That's why I gave you the old heads up. But yeah, it could be a lot better than that, to be fair. However, you can see how you could probably tweak if you wanted to, you could tweak the whole workflow here to make the outputs much better. Because overall, that was pretty basic. Can we download the app as well? You can share the output and you should be able to share the app as well. Let's plug that in. So yeah, let me know if you have any app requests that you want me to do, and then we should be good to go. So Ban says platformer. What do you mean by platformer? We can also get a product research report. Yeah, there's so much stuff you can build with it. It's just endless, isn't it? What you could also do if you're running out of ideas, you could go over to ChatGPT and you could say something like, okay, based on what you know about me, give me 5 professional app ideas I could build that would be useful. So, for example, an AI sales call analyzer or an SEO ROI tracker app, affiliate partnership CRM, SEO community companion, and an ad creative testing hub. This is pretty cool. So we could take that. And then what we could do here, this is going to be interesting. So we could create new and we're building our apps. Platform a jumping game. All right, we'll build that in a second. Chuku says, hello, bro. How are you doing today? I'm just coming in. What are you trying to do? So we're building no-code apps with Google Opal, which is a free app builder that basically allows you to build and share any apps that you want. Doesn't cost anything, really easy to use, doesn't require any coding. And unlike, for example, tools like NA10, it's much simpler and easier to build with. So let's test this out. I'm going to say something like build an app for creating new ads that gives me new headlines, hooks, and copywriting to test, Alex style, based on the copywriting I give you. E.g., give me 10 hooks, headlines, and body copy rewritten based on the copy I pasted. We'll enter like so, and that was built really quickly, wasn't it? So let's click on start now. It says enter your original copyright here. So let me take an example. We can just take something from, let's see what we got here. We'll take this example here, and then we'll go back to the app, paste that in, hit enter, and then that. In the meantime, someone wanted to get us to build a platformer jumping game. So let's create new there. So I'm going to say create a fun, inducing platform game. Put something like I like jumping dinosaurs. Right, so that should be coding out there. In the meantime, look at this, right? So this is we'll go back to the app, right? So you can see here, we've got all the ad variations based on what we plugged in originally. So we gave it a performing ad, and then it generated loads of different hooks, body, copy, and headlines based on that, right? So we've got 10 different variations. They're not bad, to be fair. It's not the style that I would use, but I would probably, for the rewriting the ads, I would probably recommend that you use Gemini 2.5 Pro if you want to get better outputs, right? But what you could also do inside here is you could say, okay, and create and add a video generator there too, so that we can generate a video to go with the ad. And so basically what we're trying to do here is create like a all-in-one Facebook ad generator, quickly generates the ad copy, the hook, the headline, the body copy, and also the video too. So it's added a video section here. All right, so you can see here, you give it the copy, it generates the ad, generates the video description, generates the actual video, and then gives you a responsive HTML page with the ad variations and the video. So let's test this out now. We're going to click on preview, go back to the app, we'll refresh this, we'll click on start, grab that copy that we found before, like this one, plug that in, hit enter, and in the background, that should start generating the video and the ads copy and everything else. And then it'll plug it into a nice HTML. In the meantime, we have Dino Jump, the platform ads game. So let's click on start over here. It says describe your desired game. So I'm going to say, okay, jump indoors, something like that. And then it's going to start designing it right there. Now, the other one that we had was a video generator. Is there any particular type of video you want to generate? Let me know. If not, I'll just get straight into. So if we go back to Opal here, create new. Oh, nice. Video YouTube Shorts. So plug that in. The good news is if this takes a while, you can just have them running in the background, right? So we got, for example, the interactive game here. We have the ad variations video being generated there, and then we're working on the shorts creator. So let's have a look at the shorts creator. Let's actually see what it's done here. So it says topic description. So you enter your video topic or description, then it's going to create this step-by-step. So it's AI assistant specializing in generating detailed textual instructions, blah, blah, blah. Here's what to do. Then you're going to generate the video using Veo. And then from here, we're going to display that on a page. All right. So let's go back to the app now. Click on start. Let's say, right, okay, penguins, right? I want a YouTube short about penguins. Then it should start generating that. RNI guy says, hi everyone, it's Julian. And now we have the game Jumping Dino. Let's see how this goes. To be honest, that is not working. So let's have a look here. We probably want to use Gemini 2.5 Pro. I think that's going to give you better outputs here and probably be faster as well. So let's go back inside the app now. We'll refresh that. Dino jumping dinosaurs, and it will generate the game design. Hopefully it'll do a better job with Gemini 2.5 Pro using the API. Now for the ad content variations, you can see all the details right here. And then we have our video. Okay, so that's not very good. So I would go back to the editor here. And then for generating the video description, I'd go inside here and say, allow the user to describe what they want in their video too, and use that for the video output. Otherwise, you're going to get pretty videos like you saw a second ago. So we just want more control. Like anytime you see a poor output from your workflow, change it so that you can actually step by step improve the output and have more control over it. So we've got original copy and video description. Let's test it out inside the app here. We'll refresh that, plug that in, describe the desired video content. So I'm going to say SEO nerd typing on a laptop, then jumping around excited. All right, so now we're generating the individual ad copy, and we've also told it exactly what we want inside the video, and hopefully that'll be better. In the meantime, we've got the shorts generator that actually comes with sound as well. So it's generating the sound output for this too. And that is in vertical format, right? You can also save this. So you can click on save video as, and then hit save, and that is downloaded as an MP4. And there you go, your YouTube Shorts generator is done. Boom. It's magic. It's absolute magic. Any other app ideas people want to see? Now we got Dino. So I wouldn't recommend this for generating games at all, because it's failed on the second attempt as well. I'm just doing this on a live stream. Like, I'm sure if you mess around with it a lot more, you could get better outputs. It's just, I'm speeding through it, right? So I'm sure if you played a bit more with it, it'd be better. The other thing here, right? If we go back to the images, you see all these apps that I've created. We've created loads so far, but if you go over to Dino Jump, you see how there's no image here. So if we go to Dino Jump, then we'll go to theme. Then you can type in the theme that you want. So for example, like dinosaurs, hit enter, and it will generate a theme for your app. Twisted Mind says, yeah, that's great. I would agree with you there, definitely. Stardeem says, how could you add the newly created app to a website? We'll come on to that in a second, actually. That's a great question. So we'll wait for that to load. In the meantime, let me log into my website and show you how I would add this in. By the way, if you want all these apps inside the AI Profit Board, go to the SOPs section here. You'll see everything along with the training video as well on how to use this. But if we go back now to our website, probably the way that I would do it is I would recommend that you just get the link and then make it like clickable for people to embed, because it doesn't seem like you actually get the code to embed on your website. And then also what you can see here is we've generated the theme now. So you can see we've got this image. So if we go back to our apps, now you can see that we have a nice image generated on Google for each of the overviews, right? So you can create like a nice sort of theme for each one, make it nicely designed, etc. Keep it nice and organized. Yeah. And then you can duplicate it, delete it, etc. But yeah, I don't think you can get the embeddable code. Let's have a look inside editor here. Also, the other thing to note here is if you make a mistake, you can actually see the version history. So you can flick between them, right? So if you want to restore an old version, just click on that. Or if you want to go back to the new version, click on that, right? And then you can get back the app that you created. So that's basically it. We've built how many apps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the space of just a few minutes. They're all no code. They're all really easy to build. This is 10 times more intuitive than using something like NA10 or that sort of thing to build this. It was really easy and simple, wasn't it? So if you want to get all the apps from today that I've built, feel free to get that inside the AI Profit Board. Just go to the classroom, scroll down to SOPs, and then you'll find it right here, along with all these new updates. Every time there's a new update, we add it inside the community. We give you all the notes on how to use it. And if you just want to start from scratch, if you want to say like laser focus, for example, then we actually have a 6-week AI automation masterclass. You can follow step by step. You can ask questions inside the community if you have any questions and that sort of thing. And then also inside the calendar here, we have 5 coaching calls per week, right? And this AI Profit Boardroom community is just improving all the time. Like it gets updated every single day. We cover the latest tools. We show you how to use them. We run coaching sessions. And if you can't make the coaching sessions, then you can actually watch them back inside the Q&A call recordings and coaching call section. Inside here as well, we have all our best AI SEO automations, a YouTube roadmap based on how I've grown my own YouTube channel. We have a crash course, which is basically a playbook for how I've scaled my own business. And then additionally, we have all my best NA10 templates and workflows right here that you can download, right? And we just constantly add into this. So feel free to get that link in the comments and script. If you just want a totally free community with loads of different trainings, you can get that inside the AI Money Lab. It's a community of 20,800 people. You don't get the support and you don't get the help and the coaching and everything else inside here, but you do get a lot of training. So you can just go inside the classroom completely free. Link in the comments description. Feel free to get that. And if you're like, Julian, I just want to get you to do everything for us, then feel free to book in an AI automation session. This is really only for if you're a bigger company, if you're a 7 or an 8-figure company and you have the budget to invest in automating your business, then you can book in a call. And on this session, basically what we're going to do is look at where you spend your time. Then we're going to help you figure out what you need to build. And then we're going to go off and implement it for you. Most of our automations are around, I would say, about $2,000 per automation. So, if you've got the budget, feel free to book that in. If you don't, just join the airport. We'll do all the free community as well. Either way, we help everyone. And then Stardeem says, this has been cool. Thanks for staying up to date on this info. Happy to help. Love sharing this stuff with you and I appreciate you watching. So I will see you on the next one, my friends, and appreciate it. Cheers. Bye-bye.